we saw Chad Gable come back from getting a gunshot to the head, have a match, successfully win that match. And at the end, we saw Nikki Cross come out in a fog of smoke, and she went to Michael Cole's desk and she gave him a box. Now, Kiro, something was in this box, and we threw back to that box later, and we saw something very interesting. I would say one of the most amazing things we saw on WWE Raw in a very long time. Can you tell us what happened from there?
I don't know what was in the box. I'm too young. I don't. Anyways, enough of the jokes. It was a VHS tape. They said, "Oh, we checked the footage," or like, "Here, we'll play it for you now." And it was very interesting. We saw Bo Dallas sitting there and talking about, for the lack of a better terminology, real shit
stuff, man.
I gotta say it, man. I gotta say it. Yeah. They went out the gate asking, "How do you feel about Bray Wyatt's death?" And Kenny, you were like, "Whoa," you know?
I did not. It was completely unexpected to me. I thought we were going to stay in wrestling stuff. Like, I didn't even know we was going to see Bo Dallas with his mask off. But they came straight out the gate. How do you feel about your brother's death? I was like, well,
jeez, yeah.
Immediately grabbed me. I was like, okay, what are we doing here? Where are we going? And I think the subject matter and what they delivered in this promo was perfect. Beautiful, man. This was cinema. Beautiful art.
I agree, man. Brian.
We should have had a script, man, because I would love to read the whole thing of what they said. They pretty much, you know what, just to run it down, he said, how do you feel about your brother's death? Do you feel like people are going to say you're exploiting him? And he said, well, my whole life I wanted to be like him. And we see him doing exactly that now. One of our big concerns going into this was, can Bo Dallas pull this Fiend thing off? Can he be as threatening or as menacing as Bray Wyatt? I really didn't love the stuff they were putting on his voice during the promo, but him talking back and forth with Uncle Howdy, I think it was just beautiful. And he was pretty much telling us where he is with everything right now and why he's taking up this character. I think this was the perfect introduction to Bo Dallas as Uncle Howdy. Now, I don't know if we necessarily know his motivations right now, but I'm definitely interested to find out more. Even though they kind of blew all the stuff around this already, I think they can still rehab it and recover it, because the Nikki Cross stuff, even though she was just crawling and went to the table, I thought that was really good. And this was like really the cherry on top. I think this was even better than what they did last week, because it kind of built the story around what this character is going to be.
I wanted to throw it over to Brian after that. Like, I remember Brian also remarked about like them saying, "Oh, I'm doing this just because of, I'm just leeching off of my brother's success and stuff like that."
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that line? Like, why did they put it in there, and what they try to accomplish with that one?
Honestly, bro, I was really happy with this whole segment, simply because I felt like they threw it back into reality and back into what people were saying, because that was the constant thing. There was some guy, just a quick sidebar, there was some guy who made a comment on Twitter, and he said, WWE is just making money off Bray Wyatt's death, and they actually reported it to his job, by the way, which is actually kind of nuts. Yeah, bro, kind of crazy. But I think right now this is good. I think that the fact that they went into reality for this one, and they went ahead and said, hey, this is how people feel, or this is, the way people see it. And I think it was cool that they addressed it. They addressed it in their own way. I think it was a very powerful way to address it, by him saying, I always wanted to be like my big brother. And that's just the way I look at it, man. I think, again, great segment. I love the realness of it. And one thing that I do like about this Uncle Howdy character is that, like you guys said, they're not hiding who is behind the mask, because at this point we know what it is. But Bray Wyatt, as his character, we always knew who was behind the Fiend. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool that we know who's behind Uncle Howdy officially, because I think this might be the first time ever we've seen Bo Dallas without the Uncle Howdy mask. So I think... And
just like a normal human, just like a man, he's Bo Dallas in there. Like, he's not acting crazy or nothing. So
exactly,
right,
man.
yeah.
Great presentation.
So I personally, I'm a fan of this, and I think this is something that we got to keep an eye out. And I think that all of us in here, while we were watching live, we were like, oh yeah, this is what we care about. This is something that definitely had us glued.
Yeah, we're usually arguing, but we were all quiet, like glued to it. So Big Home, what do you think?
This is the best thing that WWE's had on Monday Night Raw in a very long time, long as I can remember. Like, I mean, maybe like the bigger thing would probably be like Cody's beat down at the hands of The Rock earlier in Chicago before Mania. But outside of like, this is one of my favorite things of WWE's done all year. I believe that, you know, confronting the criticisms, if you can even call it that, like head on is like a very smart thing for them to do, because it's kind of like, all right, what are you going to say now? Like it's that whole it's you know, the last few minutes of 8 Mile when it's like it's like when Eminem or what's his name, B Rabbit, excuse me, just like says everything and puts it all out there, like, what you got to say about me? Like, and on top of that, and on a more serious note, I think this did more for Bo Dallas, the wrestler Bo Dallas, the character Uncle Howdy, whatever you want to call him. These 4 minutes or however long this was did way more for him than I think anything that he did in his entire career. And part of the best parts about wrestling are real. Like, even when they're mixed in with this, like, you know, spooky whatever character, like when the realism comes out, it resonates more because it comes across as authentic. That's what people want. That's what the viewers want. We crave authenticity in our entertainment, in our personalities, and all that. So for him to do this and for WWE to allow this to happen, it truly shows that the guard is changing, because something like this may have been allowed like in spurts or, you know, in like little like segments here and there. It would not have been as prevalent in the Vince McMahon era, especially the last 20 years of garbage booking that Vince was doing.
Oh, but, come on now. We're not going to slander Vince's booking. We're not going to slander Vince McMahon's booking, because the man built this company from the ground up.
It was garbage.
People get old and they age out, but Vince McMahon is a legend. Legendary booking.
His booking was so bad. His booking was so bad that AEW is about to be profitable in 5 years because of it. That's the legacy that Vince is leaving behind.
Vince McMahon created The Undertaker, bro. Come on.
Way worse legacy he's leaving behind. Anyway, but going back to what matters. Last thing I will say about this, I said, like, you know, there's a chance for them to kind of like, you know, redeem themselves here with the WWE. The way you kind of right the ship, for lack of a better term, as far as like the impact that the Wyatt Six have moving forward, I think, is having Bo Dallas like go out there and win matches.
Oh yeah,
and I think more importantly than establishing him as, you know, like the singles drawer or like whatever, like he doesn't need to go after titles, but he needs to be a dominant force in the ring so that when he does like face people and he does go after titles, you know, he's a threat. And it's not just, oh my God, smoke and mirrors, right? This is day one of trying to get past that and go move toward that. I think this promo was a great job.
Great job. I didn't like how Uncle Howdy looked before, but I think they like fixed up the image to kind of make him look big budget, where he was kind of low budget when we last saw him. But I got a question, Omar. You brought up something interesting there. You said he needs to go in and have good matches in the ring. For me, I think as long as they get the story good, I don't care about his matches. But does he wrestle as Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy?
Here's what you do, Kenny Baum. You have Bo Dallas go out there in the ring and whoop that booty, whoever it is. And then you have Uncle Howdy. You get an extra. I don't care. Get an extra dressed up as Uncle Howdy, watching every single match that Bo Dallas has from the entrance ramp. And establish that, like, Uncle Howdy isn't just an alter ego for Bo Dallas. Uncle Howdy is like this supernatural being that has, like, whatever, separated itself from Bo Dallas, whatever you want to say it. I think there's a lot of storytelling in there where Uncle Howdy's like almost like a separate like piece of Bo Dallas is breaking away. Y'all remember Dragon Ball Z? Remember when Majin Buu split up into two Boos? Give me that.
They did it in Lucha Underground. Like the champion was watching all the matches. Them. We have Ken. You like this one? Mortal Kombat, Kotal Khan or something. Just watching everything that's going on and judging. That'd be cool. That's something that I'm pretty sure I've never seen in WWE.
What I fear is the fact that, I mean, we've seen Bo Dallas a lot. Bo leave, 3-man band. What was the other gimmick? He's had a lot of gimmicks that I think kind of pushed him down to that mid-card status. Do y'all think he can recover from that? Because I think seeing just Bo Dallas wrestle in the ring as he was, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to see like a threat.
Shorty G is all I'm saying.
I think this was
Fair.
Kenny. This was like a complete reset. What we witnessed tonight was like a complete reset on the Bo Dallas like character, persona, wrestler, everything. I think tonight like did a lot to like be like, all right, we're seeing something new. Let's go for the ride.
So yeah, I think he'll be fine.